You know Ysolda, that girl in Whiterun? I heard she has this weird thing for mammoth's tusks. Sleeping tree sap, plus mammoth tusk, plus Ysolda. My brain. Let's just forget I said anything. How could that thing even fit?
Skyrim modern stage is enormous and long ago became a separate universe of amazing creations, passion and a pure talent. 2020 is not an exclusion. With over 7,000 mods released for Skyrim during this year, there is more than enough mods to choose from to improve any possible aspect of the game. Today we will take a look on 10 most prominent mods released in 2020 in different categories: visual improvements, immersion, quests, dialogues, animations and artifacts. The best of this year, picked, explained and showcased for you. Grab something warm to drink and let's go. The Dawnguard headquarters always was feeling a lackluster to Skyrim players. The last bastion of humanity against the vampire threat was just unimpressive. And yeah, while during the walkthrough it could receive some upgrades here and there, but it felt so minor and just, well, not worth of this citadel. Immersive for Dawnguard is an ultimate improvement to this glorious castle and the surrounding territory from the author of well-known Immersive College of Winterhold mod. The fort exterior area now includes extra fortifications, a main gate, new towers, alchemy tower, farming area and greenhouses to sustain fort protectors. The interior features a new chapel, library, bathhouse and prison. Moreover, the Fort Dawnguard will gradually be cleaned up and restored until it's back to its original glory as you progress through the Dawnguard questline, so you can see the results of your hard work and the preparation to the war against vampires. Additionally, all interior cells have transparent windows so you can actually see the fort yard through them without loading screens. There are also plenty of patches included for the popular mods. This mod feels a native part of the game and greatly, non-intrusively improves the look of the legendary fort. Skyrim doesn't suffer from the lack of female beautification mods, rather it suffers from excess amount of it and not always the best quality or just a logical sense. Man is another deal. During all these years, there are just a few actually good male NPC overhauls and that's it. Meet Pandorable NPCs males, a visual overhaul for over 16 named male NPCs in the game with a great facelift but without something extra excess. Improved skin textures, new hairstyles, better brows, beards and eyes, and generally a more up-to-date look. At the same time, changes were made in style with original NPC characters, so you know, a bard will not be visually turned into a barbarian or vice versa. Well, see yourself.
And why would anyone join the Stormcloaks? This war won't last much longer. Ulfric Stormcloak, the rightful High King? That's bordering on treason, man. You retract your statement, or get arrested.
More to Say is one of those mods you never knew you needed so much until you install one. This mod adds miscellaneous, inconsequential dialogues to existing NPCs throughout the game. Want to start a brawl with Nazim? Ask local guard about places of interest in the city, ask a priest for a blessing, have more backstory options with memorable characters in the game, and just more variations to react on certain situations, and more information to get during the talks. Grab this mod for sure. It adds new dialogue options to over 130 named and tons of generic NPCs, which gives the seamless, unnoticeable immersion boost to the game. It is completely standalone, so it is compatible with all other mods as is. Animations is an eternal cornerstone of Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. In each and every game of this series, animations is what is looking especially outdated. Clunky and dull movements, lack of diversity for animations, all this gives unnoticeable at surface but clear dissatisfaction from the gameplay. EVG Conditional Idols and EVG Animation Variance, yes, technically two but very similar mods from the same author, do exactly how they are named. Adding new idols to you and NPCs depending on conditions. Wounded, tired, cold weather or rain, NPC also receive variations to existing animations. They can hold the torch with different hand position, guards can have different stances, walking animation can differ depending on gender and age and so on. You can also pick options what you want or not want during the installation, and it is configurable via the ini file or MCM menu. One more simple yet amazing mod which greatly improves visual immersion.
All their tired sermons, dusty volumes, endless ramblings of logic and order made us positively batty it did!
Do you like cheese? Here, get some. Cheese for you, cheese for me, cheese for everyone. Identity Crisis is the most original and well-done quest mod of this year, which takes you on adventure to Asylum of Julianus, a secluded castle which became a host of the mind of Uncle Share himself. It is a short but incredibly fun and well-written storyline that will wrap around madness and souls collectioning, allowing you to become the mad god emissary in Tamriel. If you will be able to keep your own sanity in progress, of course. Mod also has absolutely stunning level design, which is pleasing just to walk around and enjoy these weird looks of the castle and very qualitative voice acting.
Only a fool would think so callously of our demise. Do you have no memory of who you're speaking to? I'm the Prince of Fools! Who are you, anyway? Me? Who are you? Have I gone mad? Or has someone entered our midst?
R.A.S.S. Rain, Ash and Snow shaders. This mod was technically released back in 2019, but became, let's say, feature complete, much more polished and customizable after massive updates in 2020. R.A.S.S. can be considered as a much more lightweight alternative to well-known wet and cold mod in terms of script load. It adds new, immersive visual effects depending on weather and surface conditions. XL bubbles when you're swimming underwater, cold breaths in snowy regions, wet and respectively snow cover on you and NPCs during rain or snowstorms, water droplets and ash shaders during ash storms in Solstheim. The best part is mod is really lightweight and can be safely used with most of heavy modded setups, and it is fully configurable in MCM up to your likings. Serana is one, if not the most memorable and well-written character in the game. Skyrim severely lacks from deeply written followers with things to say besides your burdens, and Serana always was a brand new level compared to the others. At the same time, her dialogues, interactions, commentaries were pretty limited aside from the Dawnguard questline itself, and even her own storyline and interaction with her could be just so much more. Serana Dialogue add-on drastically expands her dialogues and commentaries with fully voiced lines in order to make her feel more organic as an interactive character with the player and the world. This includes more conversations with the player, quest awareness, radiant dialogues, comments about surrounding events and places you visit, and even an actual romance line. With this mod, Serana should be a more engaging character not only in Dawnguard, but during the whole game, bringing her on the similar levels of companions like Inigo, and yeah, by the way, she now also has interactions with Inigo if you have it installed as well. The amount of new lines added is just insane, and how on point they were added, the quality of voice acting, all this makes her not just a character she truly deserves to be, but makes you to replay Dawnguard DLC just for Serana alone.
Well, I guess it's because I never felt that kind of thing was for me. I was always expected to act a certain way, and was never really asked if that was what I truly wanted. I always knew I was meant for more, not like one of those girls who felt pretty and stood inside their castles all day. And then, Things started getting icy between my parents. That basically hit the nail on the head for me. At least for how I wanted to live. Hiding places. This is the kind of place where hermits and fanatics dwell. You'd fit right in. I'm kidding. Now that I think of it, I do. What brings you to Skyrim? Ugh. You do know that you're going to have to sell your soul for these artifacts, right? They're pretty overpowered in their own right, but that's the cat. But hey, at least when I get to Cold Harbor, I can give Molog the middle finger. There, back in the soul cairn. It was all true. You, a stranger, have done more for me since we met than either of my parents in more than 1,000.
Let's come closer to our 3 finalists and approve the animations again. Combat Gameplay Overhaul, or just CGO, is not less than simply a revolutionary mod, which can breathe a new life in your Skyrim gameplay and make it actually feel on par with modern engine games. It adds brand new animations, behaviors and combat options. For example, unlock grip, use double two-handed weapons for dual wielding, or use a one-handed weapon with both hands, with fully working custom animations, including the first-person animations, to stay balanced, as obviously dual wielding with two-handed weapons is crazily high damage. These stances receive corresponding penalties as well. Procedural leaning. Your character body will react on your movement direction and speed when stopping or turning around. Such a tiny but such an immersive and realistic animation. The most responsive, best animated dodge you ever seen, with corresponding first-person dodging animations as well. Aside from that, you can now attack and cast spells in mid-air, enable 360 degrees combat movement, and some other minor things. While each of them being minor alone, altogether CGO makes a next-level overhaul of regular and combat movements, bringing a new joy to gameplay. Due to its complexity though, its decent flaw is lack of compatibility with some other animation and weapon mods, so you will have to choose between them sometimes, but if you like what you see, it is definitely worth installing. Every time EA Cheyenne releases a new mod, one most likely can be sure it will be one of the best mods this year, no exceptions. EA work is always an example of dedication, innovations and quality. Triumvirate, Mage Archetypes, is a massive spell pack with an aim for roleplay. It adds over 70 new spells for popular character archetypes, such as Druid, Shadow Mage, Warlock, Cleric and Shaman. In addition, these spells often have something dynamic or conditional, for example brand new summons, which are cool on their own, but each one also goes with own special abilities, which will be working if you sacrifice a soul to it, and the souls you can collect using other combat warlock spells, the useful synergy inside the class magic. Want an epic appearance? How about a mass teleportation spell for you and allies around? Maybe supporting spells and curses easily, protect your allies with Thorny Aura and weaken your enemies with Area of Effect debuffs. Need to get that pesky mage or archer closer to you, or maybe vice versa, bring reinforcements to you instantly during an ambush, use the Shadow Pool. Want to empower your minions even more? Your destructive spells can also make enemies more susceptible to their attacks, allowing to bring down even the toughest rivals. Mass destruction spells, we have them too. Druid abilities call special utility type summons which debuff and harass enemies and require concentration to summon them, but do not count to your summons limit. And of course you can turn into a powerful forest monster yourself. maybe a dark team spell sort mechanics easily, as a Shadow Mage, cast a Nightblade on yourself to be able to dash through space with melee attacks, teleporting to your enemies and instantly catching them off guard and dealing extra damage depending on your magicka pool. Triumvirate is not just yet another spell pack for spells quantity, but a project of creativity in first turn as it approaches the class's structure with love and care, allowing you to deeply enhance your character builds and enjoy the lore-friendly roleplay at the same time. Today's number one and probably one of the most dedicated, unique mods in the last couple of years at least. Skyrim has huge amount of unique armors, weapons and other artifacts. But while variety itself is great, the artifacts, effects and powers themselves often do not feel neither unique nor actually useful, being often vastly inferior to almost any self-enchanted high-tier item in a middle or late game. There are indeed a plenty of mods to change that, and for years a mod like Zim's Immersive Artifacts was the mod to go for artifacts improvement, until this one arrived. Reliquary of Myth Artifact Overhaul is the next level overhaul and next level in coverage as well, over 60 items improved. For Skyrim artifacts with the goal of not just make them useful in terms of strengths, but to make them an actual artifacts, a unique fabled items with special abilities you can find nowhere else, worthy of legends about them. Well, let's take a look. Volendrang. In vanilla it was simply draining 50 points of stamina per hit and that's it. Yeah, seriously, just a regular enchantment you can do yourself. With the mod, its attacks give a stacking damage boost, but most fun part goes after. When charged, performing a sideways power attack unleashes a powerful cyclone, which does aerial damage as well as throwing enemies around as they are mere leaves, stunning and knocking them out. Now that's a weapon worthy of Malakat. The Spellbreaker now charges when blocking a spell. When fully charged, performing a power bash erupts the powerful 15 feet radius explosion, which completely silences enemies. Additionally, a time block with it can now reflect spells back on the enemies. The Blade of War now immediately makes you invisible if the sneak attack killed the enemy, and makes its next attack even stronger. To make yourself safe from mistake though, it's even better to use it with the Ring of Khajiit if needed, which give you total invisibility, but also as a price for that constantly drains your stamina while equipped. The Dawnbreaker now not just burning undead, but has a chance to cause a holy fire explosion. Much better to deal with many of them at once, right? It also has a chance to bless you with the divine powers, restoring your and alias around HP and stamina while draining them from the undead. Now the Dawnbreaker is a true anti-undead artifact. Mace of Moloch Bone now, on hit, drains 15 more magicka and stamina for each 5 souls you consumed with it, meaning it is 15, then 30, 45 and so on. So when you will consume enough souls, a single strike with this mace will leave almost any enemy without stamina and magicka in instant. As you can see, Reliquary brings not just powerful, but lore-friendly and absolutely epic powers to the artifacts. Sometimes this also has a price to balance this, like the stamina cost on Ring of Khajiit or a need to charge items in certain conditions. This also motivates you to use them wisely and tactically, and greatly expands the capabilities of your character builds. The best mod of the year is right here. That's it for now, folks. I hope you found this video useful and will pick something to your own setup. Don't forget to enable channel notifications and join our Discord to always stay in touch. If you want to support me directly to keep these videos coming, all the links, my personal game store, Patreon page are down below in video description. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Scimitar Gaming here, signing out.